Did you know that humankind produces enough food to end global malnourishment? Nevertheless, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, in 2019, close to 750 million, or nearly 1 in 10 people in the world, were exposed to severe levels of food insecurity. An estimated 2 billion people in the world did not have regular access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food in 2019. One of the main causes of this alarming situation is food waste. Food waste can be defined as the reduction in the quantity or quality of food along the supply chain. According to the most recent data, one third of the food worldwide was wasted last year. When looking at this number a bit more in detail, the biggest waste comes from roots, followed by tubers, oilseed crops, fruits, and vegetables. Up to 15% of fruits and vegetables are wasted at the retail level in regions like Latin America, South and Southeast Asia. The problem is even worse in sub-Saharan Africa, where waste levels can reach up to 35%. Food waste also implies the waste of other valuable resources such as labor, water, and energy, which in the long term can generate a severe impact to the environment. The FAO has estimated that the food industry accounts for around 30% of the total energy consumption and around 22% of the total greenhouse gas emissions. Waste occurs mainly during food storage, distribution, and trade. In the same way, one of the main causes of the food waste is related to the food appearance, a clear indicator that much of the food waste is the result of consumer purchasing decisions. When we realized how serious the problem is, we were completely shocked. This is why we decided to do something about it, and this is how Consumo Imperfecto was born. We are Saul and Daniela, food engineering students from the University of Costa Rica, passionate about food science and sustainable development. We know that most of the people do not realize the magnitude of the food waste problem, being the lack of information and education the main causes of this lack of awareness. This is why the Consumo Imperfecto movement arises, seeking to change the way we see food. We want to eradicate myths and change the beauty standards of food consumption. Crooked, funny shaped, disproportionate, misshaped, ugly. Most of the time, fruits and vegetables that don't qualify as perfect, pretty, or normatively attractive end up rotting and wasted. That being said, we want to motivate consumer food waste avoidance behavior because although it may sound difficult to accept, it is the daily commercial transactions, interactions, and household practices that cause food to end up in the bin. What is Consumo Imperfecto? It is an awareness movement that has three main goals. Firstly, create a brand. Why? Because it allows people to recognize, identify, and feel a connection with the movement. How do we intend to do it? Creating an identity campaign so people can associate the movement with avoiding food waste. For example, our name means imperfect consumption. By being committed for the consumption of fruits and vegetables that have been typically rejected or treated with less value, we want to encourage people to question their consumption habits. Creating shirts and merch for sellers and personnel working in retail, with designs that allude to the goals of the campaign. This will make possible to identify producers but also consumers committed with the problem and encourage more consumers to buy ugly fruits and vegetables. Most consumers who attend to fairs have a high awareness of caring for the environment and therefore use cloth bags. Consumo Imperfecto will make reusable bags with flashy designs of ugly fruits and vegetables. Consumers often come to fairs with a list of fruits and vegetables they want to buy. We want to create notebooks with drawings, phrases, designs that remind the consumers of the importance of avoiding the waste of fruits and vegetables due to their physical appearance. Second, educate. Why? Given that everybody is involved in one way or another to food waste, our main goal is to motivate, educate, and involve people from all ages and places in this new way of looking at food. It is challenging and requires a detailed understanding of the behavioral drivers and obstacles to change the way decisions related to food consumption have been normally made. How do we plan to be a key factor in education and awareness of this problem? We want to show, for example, how ugly food is completely okay to eat, for example, by giving the nutritional information. The task will be to divide the fruits and vegetables in different drawers and in both put the same nutritional information to refer that the physical appearance is not related to the nutritional content. Creating QR codes that redirect to pages with information about food waste, mainly fruits and vegetables, that are rejected due to their physical appearances. The promotional page of the campaign will also have recommendations to avoid food waste at different stages of the chain, but mainly at the consumption level. Good storage practices, purchases, recipes, ideas for donating food, among others. Visual representations and design campaigns where the real scale of the waste of different food is observed. Also providing training by student volunteers at farmers' fairs to manage this problem and thus promote the sustainability of the food chain from the earliest stages of the production with producers, intermediaries, and in the sales stages with consumers. And third, motivate the participation and actively involve the community in the campaign. Why? Because it is important not only to educate but also to strengthen these ideas in people who are joining the movement. How? Encouraging investment, incentives, and the formation of strategic alliances between the public and private sectors to promote the project Consumo Imperfecto. For example, by creating innovation contests among students of enterprises related to strategies to combat food waste. Promoting participation in the project's social networks to encourage more and more people to be part of this new way of valuing our food. To successfully reach consumers' participation, we must create a positive collaboration focus by providing them different options in which they can feel helpful. We've decided to base the movement on one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, more precisely goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. These goals aim to have per capita global food waste at the retail and consumer levels and reduced food losses along production and supply chains, including post-harvest losses, by 2030. Attending farmers' fairs has become a recent trend given that people can get fresh products at better prices than in supermarkets, and at the same time contribute to the local economy. We would like to consolidate the movement on a local scale first, then to extend it into other developing regions like Central America, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Southeastern Asia. What would be the impact of Consumo Imperfecto? The movement will not only help the SDG number 12, but it can also have a positive effect on other SDG, such as number 2, eradicating hunger and achieving food security and improved nutrition. Number 6, sustainable water management. Number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 13, climate change. Number 14, marine resources. Number 15, forest desertification and biodiversity. And by cumulative effects, long term, number 1, poverty eradication. Number 8, sustainable economic growth and decent work. And number 10, reduction of inequalities. Food waste is a complex, multifaceted issue that cannot be attributed to a single variable. We strongly believe that a call for a stronger integration of consumers and the food systems must be done.